Hey guys, welcome back to AF Farms for another episode of Erlengrat for our Let's Play series. So, I had a bit of an issue yesterday, or last episode. I lost an episode of footage, so nothing too major, but basically we cut this field, and then we had this windroad, and we picked it up with the loading wagon. However, what I ended up doing was I ended up grabbing a new loading wagon, just to speed up the efficiency. So I picked this up as a lease, and we've started filling our silage bunker. So we're pretty full here, pretty happy with the level of that so far. So the plan today is, obviously we're going to check on the cows, we're going to compact and blanket this silo, and we'll see what other jobs we've got on after that. So let's jump into the animal menu and let's check out the cows. So they're in desperate need of some food, so let's go and grab a load of I'm just going to grab some hay off of this field. So let me just turn my menu back on quickly. So I like to have that up just so everyone can see what I'm doing. Actually, probably what we might do is we might windrow this instead, because it'll be a little bit more efficient use of time rather than me coming in and trying to pick it up with the loading wagon. So let's drop all this stuff off. I'll switch to the windrower, and then we'll go from there. So I've also upgraded my microphone, so you may notice I sound a little bit different. Hopefully the quality is good. Done a bit of testing with it. I'm pretty happy with it. If anyone wants to know which microphone I'm using, leave me a comment below and I'll send you the info. But yeah, hopefully the audio is coming through nice and clear. Okay, so let's get this guy underway. I love these windrowers, eh? Have a go at it. It's huge. Alright, move this out the road. So the issue with the PlayStation, I'm not sure what it was. I think I've read on some forums and stuff that once the hard drive gets too full, you do run the risk of having issues with recordings. I still had quite a bit of spare space left, but I did have the PlayStation in rest mode for quite a while. So I'm wondering if that caused an issue, because it seems to be the advice of people: you just restart the console, delete your files that you don't need, and you just free up a lot of, I guess, RAM and processing power from the PS5. So I did that. I haven't done a recording since, but I was also uploading at the time, so potentially there was an issue there. I'd be interested to see if anyone else has had a similar issue. Let us know below, because it's very annoying when you are filming an episode for half an hour or whatever it is, and you lose the content. But that's the life of a content creator, I guess. First world problems at the end of the day, but just a tad annoying. Alright, let's head into the shop. So we've got to get a silage compactor, because we need to get this silage bunker leveled and also rolled. So I'm thinking, yeah, silo compaction. So we need a silage compactor. Probably just going to go the cheapest option here. 2.6 meter working width. How big is that? Yeah, that's fine. So I'm just going to lease that one. And I'm going to get probably a leveling blade, because I think I need a leveling blade. That's $2,000, so I'll lease that as well. Actually, I will buy that, because it's $2,000. Not much at all. Okay, so we should have a leveling blade and a compactor. So this should be 3-point hitch, so this should connect, which it does. Now this is probably not the ideal tractor for this application, but nonetheless it should do the job that we need. So what you need to do with the silage is you need to level it out, you need to compact it, then you need to blanket it, and then you can begin the process of fermenting. So let's just see how this goes actually. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm just going to try and drive into the pile. And just sort of try and flatten it out. So the goal is I don't want to push the silage out too far. It'd probably help if I actually lowered the roller. So silage roller, and I want to keep the blade. So let's get onto the blade. Yeah, so I can determine which angle I want. So I don't want to pick up too much. I just want to. So actually that's probably too high. So let's start up higher. Yeah, and you can see it's starting to sort of move it there, which is good. Now the last thing I want to do here is get stuck, because that would really suck. So I guess what you want to try and do is you want to, so I'm going to drop that down just a touch. You want to build it into a bit of a peak at each end. It's almost like almost like a bit of a ramp. So it's just, because obviously we don't want to push the silage out of the pit. Yep, so you can see it's compacting there, 12%. Now if I had a heavier tractor and a heavier weight, this would probably be a lot quicker. So I'm just going to keep working this side here. This is very, the steering on this tractor is very handy for this application actually, because when I'm in a tight space I can just sort of maneuver. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to try and drive out. Oh, I'm potentially going to get stuck here, aren't I? Let's lift that blade up, see if we can't get all the way through. Okay, hopefully we're not going to get stuck. Let's lift this silage roller. Ah, damn it. What I should have done there is I should have just drove out of the bunker and come around the other side. Okay, let's see if we can't maneuver ourselves out of here somehow. Okay, let's see if I can drop the blade off. I might. No, it's not ideal. Yeah, we're properly stuck here. So I'm probably going to have to reset, I would say, if I can't get it out in the next 30 seconds. Oh, we might get out here. Yes. Cool, lesson learned. Don't drive over the pile until it's in a better shape. Okay, so let's get this roller dropped down again. Now I'm going to leave my blade up here because I want to sort of just gently work that pile into a bit of a mound. Good stuff. Alright, so what's our compaction rate? 22%. So I've still got a fair way to go actually, so let's just keep working this pile. See if we can't get it a little bit flatter than what it is. Now the other bunkers that you can use have a closed end, which is probably a little bit better. I mean, this will still work, but... Oh, don't tell me we're stuck again. Yeah, what I probably need to do is I need to push this mound out a little bit, so let's see if we can't get some of this silage to move. let's drop this blade in. So you can see it's starting to move there a little bit for us. Oh, this wind wrong is going to probably be a bit problematic with the position I'm in. Yeah, so all that's doing is building it to a peak, which I'm probably not a super big fan of, because it'll fall out the side. Okay, let's see if we can't. Yeah, there we go. That's what we want. We want to push it not out of the bunker, but kind of flattened out a little bit as we go. So what I did there is I just adjusted the angle of the blade itself. So I'm going to tilt it back this way a little bit. So I don't necessarily want it to dig in too much, I just want it to flatten out, so it's actually pretty good. Seems like it's... yeah, that's what we want. Because obviously when you're coming at it from the ground angle... yeah, there we go, now we're cooking, look at that. That's ideal. So we've had a little bit fall out, not the end of the world. I find it interesting this blade keeps moving. I don't know what's going on there, but... anyway, let's just keep working this pile. What I might do is I might zip around the other side. And just start working it from the other angle. Try and get this peak to flatten out a little bit better for me. Okay, so we should be able to drive over this now. Ugh, stuck again. Bit of a silage noob, it would appear. Oh, hang on, this might get us out. Okay, we keep turning here. Right, let's see if we can't lift up that. Come on, four-wheel steer. There we go. Okay, let's drop that back down. So, looks to me like you've got to really get that pile worked out before you even a remote chance of driving over it. So we're not actually moving much, not really moving much around. Just keep sort of building up to this peak. So realistically, if I go halfway up and then back down, get it compacted, try and work our way into these sides a little bit better, perhaps. Yeah, there we go. So a big heavy tractor here. Excuse me, with lots of horsepower would be ideal. But a medium-sized tractor will do it. That's why I got the silage leveler and the compactor, just to help with the process. You see, it's pushing quite a bit out, so I'm going to have to try and get that back in there. So this pusher should, hopefully, nope, not gonna shift it. Try that again. Oh yeah, there we go. So the Leapwolf AgriPower would be ideal for this application. Yeah, you can see that it's It's a bit unavoidable with the... Yeah, don't go too fast so we don't get stuck. 73%. What I'm going to do is I'll whip around the other way. I'm going to back this in actually. So my traction, obviously the tractor wheels will be not getting on the hump. So I should just be able to keep cruising back and forth here, get this compacted. Yeah, slowly but surely. Yeah, we're getting much compaction, so this is going to take a little while. But we'll persevere. %, not too far away, so this is actually working pretty effectively for what we've got. I mean, relatively inexpensive equipment at the end of the day. I wonder if I'll be able to... Yeah, now we're talking. So we can get the whole pile here at once. Let's see if we can do this again. Yep, so this is ideal. So we want to build it to a peak in the middle, and then it just gives us the ability to drive over the whole pile. Now I don't think it matters if you drive continually in the same spot. It'll kind of just form a mound naturally. So it's almost fully compacted actually, so that's not taking very long at all. Okay. So this pass should almost do it. Okay, that's 100%, so let's get this roller lifted up. So I'm not going to worry about pushing the remaining stuff in. So let's drop off the roller just there. And we'll drop off the front blade. Just, well, actually we'll fix this up so we don't have an issue picking it up later. Alright, so here we go, 100% compacted, 258,000 litres. So we stand on the bunker, push L3, and it's now fermenting. So job done. Alright, let's go and pick up the... Let's actually get the windrower folded and out of the way. And then we'll go and pick up those rows of grass, I believe. I probably should have turned that into hay, to be honest. But either way, we need some feed for the cows, so let's go and grab that. So this loading wagon works an absolute treat. It's got a pretty nice capacity as well, so makes the loading and unloading nice and simple. That also means fewer trips up and down the fields and to the required storage area, so definitely a bonus. The only problem is it's got a relatively tight turning circle, but with the four-wheel steer on the JCB, very manageable. There goes the train. I really like the trains in this game too. I use the train quite a bit in FS19 to transport soybeans for sale. I think I filled up every possible cart on that thing. 300,000 litres. That was a pretty epic harvest, that one. Alright, let's swing around and grab this row. Oop, bit too tight of a turn, so I might just back that up. And we missed a little bit, but not the end of the world. Let's get cruise control on, actually. So it shouldn't take too long to get these loads underway. Pretty cool forage trailer also. I mean, I do like the class branded equipment and vehicles. I mean, great addition to the game. Alright, what we might do is I'll do one load. We'll go and feed the cows, and then I'll come back and speed up the video. And then we'll come back and check our silage after that. So I reckon probably this run and probably half of the next row next to us, and then we'll be good to go. So let's jump in the cab actually. So if you're a new player to the Farm Sim 22 franchise, and you're looking for hints and tips and tutorials and that sort of thing, leave me a comment below. Let me know what you're looking for, because I do have a number of tutorials that I've published already and that are in the pipeline. So yeah, I'm definitely keen to put out a few more sort of guides for various things. But I'll just be interested to see what the fans of the series want to see, new players, what they need help with, etc. Obviously this game's been out for a little while now, and there's heaps of stuff on YouTube already. So just sort of getting that feedback would be awesome. Also, I put up a poll on the community page around the length of Let's Plays. So, what you guys like to see in terms of length. Let's zoom in a little bit so I don't get a janky camera. Whoop, don't go too fast. So I wonder if this will probably take almost all this grass. Geez, you wouldn't want to get stuck in there, would you? That'd be pretty unfortunate. Alright, I reckon that's taken all of that, to be honest. So I think we almost might be maxed out on food. Yeah, so we've got 60,000 litres of grass, so that'll cover us for a little while. Slurry's getting up there. Milk production's actually kicking along nicely, so 20,000 litres. Obviously don't have anything to transport it as yet. The hay pile actually got reduced quite a bit, so we might need to look at topping that back up. Just so we've got a stockpile of hay for when we come to do TMR for the cows. So we need hay, straw, and silage. So we've got hay sorted. We've got silage underway. We just need to come up with a bit of a plan for straw. So don't know whether we're going to buy straw bales or we're actually going to plant some crops, probably wheat, so we can actually harvest our own straw. But then it leaves us with the wheat, which I'm not really sure what we can do with yet. I mean, we could get chickens. I mean, we are doing an animal playthrough, so chickens are definitely going to be useful in the production chain, particularly for potentially things like cakes. I think there's other items, other production items that use eggs as well. So maybe we'll do eggs, because chickens are a nice, easy, sort of lucrative animal to get started with. Cows are a lot more demanding, because there's a lot of cost involved in setting them up, maintaining them, turning a profit. So turning a profit does take a little while. But once you get the milk production underway, and you can turn that into cheese, you can turn that into chocolate. There's a lot of profitable productions that come from milk. So, alright, what I might do is I'll cut the video there, and then we'll come back in once we've picked up this grass, and then we'll check in on our silage. So I'll see you guys in a few minutes. Alright, so we picked up the rest of that grass. Now so obviously we've topped up the cow feed for the day. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably leave the grass in here for the moment. Let's just quickly jump into the animal menu. So what do we got? 60,000 litres of food, nearly 20,000 litres of milk, 58,000 litres of slurry. So what can we do with the slurry actually? Let's find the prices menu. I mean, I think slurry is not a very profitable crop, but we can use it for fertilizer. Alright, so cheese. Cheese is a good option for milk. Butter as well. Cakes, I think, take eggs and butter and flour. So we could end up doing a few more production chains just to really utilise the milk to its full potential. I mean, definitely sugar. Chocolate requires sugar, so sugar seems to be something that we're going to need if we're going to go down that path. Slurry, $108. But like I said, we can use that for potentially fertilising contracts actually. So if we do pick up a slurry tanker, we'll be able to do the fertilising contracts. Because you can fertilise with slurry, manure or digestate. So obviously we've got the slurry there, so that'd be perfect for fertilisation because fertiliser in and of itself is quite expensive. Cool. Alright, let's check on the cow menu. Yeah, and the other thing we can look to get is straw, so that's going to be something to think about. Let's check our bunker quickly. So obviously we haven't slept yet, so the fermentation, yeah, hasn't moved. So it'll be interesting to see how many days this will take to ferment. One last thing I want to check is used vehicle sales. So I think they were the same as yesterday. And we've got a pretty good baler here, but obviously just a little bit out of the price range. Isn't that funny? It's a Fendt Squadra. However, when you go into it, it comes up as a Massey Ferguson. It's probably identical. But yeah, cool baler. I like that. So baling is something we'll definitely look at in the future when we've got a bit more cash flow. Nice tree harvester as well. Obviously useless to us in a dairy endeavour, but nonetheless. And this will do... Oh, so maybe we should purchase this. So what do we got? It's a digestate and slurry tanker. Yeah, I'm just not a huge fan of the design. I think I originally installed this mod because it has the ability to create a road train, so you can see the hitch on the back. So I do love me a road train. Anyway, let's have a think about that. Alright, we'll leave the video there, guys. Thanks for tuning in for this episode. Really appreciate the support for the channel so far. Leave me a comment if you've got any questions. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.